Good morning, everybody. Jonathan van Clute here with Stock Navigators. It is 5:45 a.m. Pacific time, quarter to 6 a.m., and it is time to do the morning market analysis, as we do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. So, real quick reminder again, as always, please do like, comment, and subscribe if you like these videos and would like to be kept up to date on what's going on in the future, when I'm going to be going live, and when we'll have other fun things going on to help you in your trading journey. All right, let's take a look at the S&P 500. The S&P is actually holding pretty nicely. Didn't get the turnaround at the top of the zone that I was kind of thinking was very likely. That being said, however, we didn't exactly have a really strong push to the upside outside of that zone. It's a very small range candle, and the Navigator has gone right to the zero line. I mean, it's actually negative 0.04. That is almost as close as you can get to zero without being zero. So it's really, really hard to say that we've got an extraordinarily strong bullish sentiment right now. We are definitely kind of, I've said this before, the market's sort of holding its breath. We've had this real reduction in volatility here after having lots of volatility. We had these huge range candles, lots and lots of volatility all over the place for a while, and then now it's gone very quiet the last couple of weeks. A lot of things going on in the world that everyone's kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. U.S. government shutdown and the Brexit stuff going on, and there's just a lot of unknowns and a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, and the market hates uncertainty. So on a 60-minute time frame, we've also got magenta showing on the Navigator. So Navigator is looking a little tired. We did have this big push up, and then overnight it was mostly flat. One last little push up just this morning, and not a whole lot of strength in that. Just a very slight little push to the upside, and now we're kind of giving it back, it looks like. So I am certainly expecting to see a pullback somewhere, because in order for this to turn into an uptrend, we've got to have that pattern of higher highs and higher lows form. And right now, what we have is the absolute low down here. We have the first high right there, we have the first higher low right there. And then I can't, in good conscience, call this the next high and then this the next higher low, because that is just not a significant retracement. That's just not enough for me to take very seriously. So right now we've had just this big push up, 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 and I'm feeling like it's a little bit overextended. I'm looking for that pullback, maybe into this zone, maybe retest the bottom of the zone or something like that, and then march higher. Maybe it's the 21 EMA, depending on how confident this market is to the upside. Which I have a difficult time arguing for the bull case right now. As I mentioned, with everything that's going on, I just don't really see it all that easily. We've also got this big congestion area up here where it bounced back and forth quite a few times in this range, and we're coming right up into it right now. So, at a minimum, even if price does manage to get up into here, I expect it to get kind of tied up for a while. I would expect it to get a little bit range bound and congested before being able to blast higher. Now, that being said, anything could change. We get some sudden fantastic news out of the White House. The government shutdown is ended. There's a resolution to that finally. And workers are getting paid again. That kind of stuff. The market would probably love that information and love that news. So if we get something like that, everything could turn on a dime. It definitely could change quickly. So this is a treacherous market right now. Don't get lulled into complacency with these quiet, range days. So just beware. I'm looking for a higher low somewhere, somewhere above this, in order to really declare that an uptrend is forming. So a higher low and then a takeout of the highs. Like, I would love to see that high taken out, something like that. So we'll have to just wait and see what the market wants to give us. We won't really know anything until it happens. This is not predicting the future. This is looking at what's going on and then trying to anticipate as best we can and control our risk. So trade cautiously and keep good stops, good position sizes, and all that good stuff. We do have a new box that has just come out on the 60-minute in this hour. So, right in this moment anyway, I'm thinking if we see weakness and maybe a break below the box, that might be a good indication that there's a reasonable short to be played. If we can close below the box on a 60-minute chart. Now, if we just poke below and then come right back in, then that's a different story. But if we can close a 60-minute candle below the box, that would give me a pretty good sense that the retracement is likely starting. But we'll have to just wait and see what wants to play out. Let's take a peek at crude oil. And crude has also just been continuing to go sideways. It is very definitely caught in this congestion zone here, this area here, and it's just doing it again. We are stuck right in there. We had the buy zone down here, and price definitely came right down to it, and then reversed sharply. And then right now, trying to form those higher highs and higher lows. But so far, we've got a higher high, but we do not have. I mean, I suppose you could call that a higher low. It's. I don't know. It's so small. It doesn't really instill me with great confidence. I would have preferred to see something like maybe this, and then go higher. But it is what it is. Right now, it's stuck in this congestion area. So you're really looking for it to either break out of these lows here or break out of these highs here in order to really determine a direction. The rest of the time, right now, it's just a scalper's market. That is really the thing to be doing. There isn't a big trend to jump on right now. So, good scalping market, plenty of opportunity in the short term. On the 60-minute chart, we've got a sell zone overhead, and we've got a buy zone right below, as well as this uptrending trend line, support trend line. So, there's a few different things going on here. If we zoom in a little, you can see it better. It did manage to, it got up and then crashed back down again, and then managed to, after getting kind of hung up in this for a little while, managed to blast through it, and it came back and sort of tested, pen, kind of tested his support right there, and then moved higher. And right now, on a shorter term time frame, we do have higher highs and higher lows forming. So that's a positive sign. That is a bullish sign. The 21 EMA is certainly very up. And that's all great. The navigator is positive. Everything looks good. Even the navigator on the daily has just managed to cross over the zero lines at 1.25, basically. So things are certainly looking positive, but we do still have this high. We got to get over that. That would be also this right there. So basically, the top of the box really is what we're talking about. So the top of the daily box, that is. Keep an eye on that to indicate a push higher, and then of course still there's this area here that needs to get taken out. So right now, range bound market. Look to be scalping. Gold is also continuing to move sideways and is finally now coming down and looking to test the top of this channel as support. So that's a good thing. I've been waiting for it to do that. It's testing the 21 EMA, which is obviously up. Testing the 21 EMA, testing this rising channel line, and if that can hold, then we can look for potentially a move higher. Maybe test this sell zone overhead. But if it does break back down into this channel, then there's a very good chance of it continuing this channeling behavior that it did for quite some time. So keep watch on this level. Keep an eye on that to break, and if it does break that trend line, then I'd be expecting channeling behavior. On the 60-minute time frame, on the shorter term, we've got. There we go. We're very definitely stuck in this channel between these two zones, between the buy zone down here and a sell zone up here, and it's just bouncing back and forth, kind of channeling between them. So, kind of need to see a break one way or the other to really establish a particularly strong trend or anything like that. We just don't have a consistent pattern of lower lows, lower highs, or higher highs and higher lows right now on a 60-minute time frame. So we don't have a really clear cut direction, very sideways market right now. So certainly you can scalp that market, pardon me, and there's always opportunity there for short-term trading. Let me grab a quick drink. There we go. So just pay attention to these zones. If it gets down here and looks to be holding, so looks shows some signs of strength, then you'll be looking for a long bounce. You can put your stop just outside the zone. Same thing if it gets up here and shows any signs of weakness, then you're looking for a short bounce, and you can put your stop just outside of that zone. Either way, you've got some nice low risk opportunities here in this channel, and as long as it stays in there, then you can just keep buying the low channel and selling the high channel, and just keep doing that. Navigator is red, however, so watch out for that. If we get some continued strength, it could certainly just blow right through this zone to the downside. The Navigator on the daily topped out and is rolled over, and it is heading down now, but it is still up there, definitely still green, up at 30. So daily navigator is strong but declining. So just watch out, play it, play it with tight stops, all the usual stuff. Be cautious and just trade wisely. Natural gas, interestingly, after gapping down and then basing, kind of going sideways, and then gapping back up in the same exact spot, finally looks like it wants to fill that gap. It is finally coming down, and we still have this little area here to fill. So I would not be at all surprised if we see that happen. Navigator on the 60-minute, or sorry, EMA on the 60-minute is heading down. And in fact, you can even see, I mean, lower lows and lower highs, even in the EMA. So we certainly are heading downwards on the 60-minute time frame. Navigator is down at negative 23.5, basically. So it's still got some room to head lower. It's also been doing lower highs, lower high, lower high, etc., until finally crossing the zero line with some strength and then continuing downwards. So I would, at a minimum, expect to see this gap want to fill. That's what I'm looking for. Once that happens, then we'll have to wait and see. Does it break through that, take out this low and march lower and continue the pattern of lower lows and lower highs? Or does it turn around and maybe stop at the fill of the gap and then go higher, take this level out, and then we've got higher highs and higher lows forming? So those are the things that I would want to be watching for in natural gas to see what trend direction really wants to form. But this whole blue area down here, this congestion from back here, still there. So if price does get down into this, then again, you want to just be careful about assuming a huge move to the downside, because this is a very congested zone, and I would expect price to get kind of hung up in it. Last but not least, let's take a look at the crypto markets, looking at Bitcoin as our general crypto proxy. So, still in that downtrend, not terribly surprisingly. Oh, and for some reason, this trend line is not quite in the right place. There we go. Yeah, close enough. So we're definitely still below this descending trend line. There's no question about it. Lower lows and lower highs. But recently, we have just been going very sideways, kind of stuck in this channel here, in this zone. Right now, we got this buy zone down here, and price is holding right at the top of the zone. It's just going sideways, and that is potentially bullish if price can then pick up and go higher. We've got to see price get out of this area here. It's got to get up over this like 44, call it 44.15 area, in order to really establish any kind of bullishness. Right now, it's just stuck going sideways. But at least it looks like this buy zone, it's held as support there. It's held as support here. So it's looking like a pretty strong, pretty strong support area. And if we can just get a takeout of some of these higher highs, or rather some of these lower highs, excuse me, and establish higher highs, then there's a decent chance of moving higher. Maybe we can test this and then maybe finally break through to the upside if we can get some true bullish follow through. Navigator tried to poke up over the zero line very briefly. Wasn't able to do really much of anything, didn't hold, and then came right back down. But like I said, price is held at the sell zone, or excuse me, at the buy zone. So that's a good sign. We are at least holding up, and Navigator is sort of bottoming out a little bit. Looks like it's kind of curving around. So we could be seeing a continuation here of the Navigator trending up. So just watch for some kind of move to take out that high. Now we get these big, huge, sudden shock moves in Bitcoin. They happen a lot. You can see them more easily on the 60-minute. I'll zoom in a little bit here, but you can see we get these sudden, gigantic moves up in 1 hour. They're generally always 1 hour moves. So, or excuse me, they're within a 1 hour, I should say. So watch for that. We could get that again. We could get another gigantic thrust to the upside, and that might be the catalyst that's needed to get some bullish follow through. But right now, anyway, sideways. You can definitely see it on the 60. We're just basically stuck in this area here. So that's what we'll be looking to trade, is just trade that range. All right, that is it for me. You may have been able to tell I'm just trying to get over the last stages of a cold. So I'm going to be taking it easy today and just try to knock this thing out. So we'll be back again next week. That's it for this week. This is Friday after all. So have yourself a great weekend. I hope you have a good day of trading ahead of you today, if you are trading today. And we'll be back on Monday. I will be here 5:45 a.m. Monday morning for another market analysis. Till then, again, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what we can do to help you in your trading journey, as always. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Trade well. Bye-bye.